Well, good morning and welcome to Bedhead Chat with Chad. An unplanned, wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. Welcome to the Hyatt Place in South Bend, Indiana. Yeah, I don't know what the internet's going to be like. I'm going through 5G on my phone. I'm hoping the 5G doesn't give me COVID. Woo, all those conspiracy theories out there. But welcome to the homeless. Here, let me mark it up here. Boom. Here's today's. You ready? There it is. Today's edition is called Homeless because technically for the next 4 days, Dana and I are homeless, living in a hotel until the 14th when we get our apartment. But for right now, we are homeless. Don't I look like a homeless guy? I mean, look at me. Yeah, today, by the way, today's bedhead chat. I mean, look at that bedhead. I mean, and I got a chair that can turn all the way around today. Woo, look at that. Look at that. Is that great or what? It's sponsored by the Hyatt Place. Yes, we love the Hyatt Place. We love the Hyatt Place. Let me bring that in closer there. See, ooh, the Hyatt Place. We prefer the Hyatt House. Oh, I held that upside down. Let me try that again. The Hyatt Place. Hyatt House actually has like a kitchen and the whole works. This place actually is kind of small. Let me go like a full screen view. Give me 1 second here. Look at that. That's the widescreen view. You can see a little bit more of the hotel, but it's not very big. So it is what it is. We'll just deal with what we got. But hey, it beats living on the streets, right? But welcome to Bedhead Chat with Chad today. This is one of those days where I wasn't sure if I was even going to get out of bed. We traveled. We got in here late Saturday night and we slept. We got up just in time to do my sermon yesterday. And for those of you that watched, I saw a lot of you on there watched. I had no idea because if you were there for the 5 minute countdown, we were at my mom's house and it was a beautiful sunny day. The birds are chirping. And by the way, we haven't really heard birds other than an occasional seagull or whatever they are there in Nome on the beach. But we're outside and it's nice and it's beautiful and the sun is out. And I got my 5 minute countdown going, similar to what I do here for Bedhead, but it's a church countdown. And one of my friends from Nome says, "Oh, I love the sound of the birds chirping in Michigan." And that is the last bird we heard chirping. And then all of a sudden you hear, and it sounded like a train was coming, and then rain started to drop, and we're outside, and my gear is all outside, and then you hear this rumble and this move and this noise and all this stuff as we're trying to adjust very quickly and get underneath the awning and the eaves and all that, and then it comes on. I'm getting ready to preach, and I'm still making last minute adjustments, and I hop on, and I'm just moving up, and I get all the arrangements, and then I didn't know it because I didn't have my setup the way I normally would have it. And evidently, I talked for about 30 seconds before my camera decided to take a picture of just the trees and the rain. So I preached my whole sermon with a picture of the rain and the trees. So, yeah, well, you're welcome. You got to see, for those of you in Nome, you got to see trees, which is a rarity. We have like 5 trees up there in Nome. But the rest of you got to hear my voice and see a picture of trees and rain. But yeah, that's how things go here. But hey, we adapted. Taylor, where the heck is Dana? Dana is over there. Dana, you want to show your face on screen? She doesn't want to show her bed head. She's not as brave as I am when it comes to sharing the bed head. But yeah, so we got some stories today, but we're going to start with, hold on 1 second. Boom, let me bring out the magic. Amy said, laugh out loud. Amy, let's see you send a picture. Anyone wants to do a selfie right now and send it on the message board, feel free. But of course, some of you have already gotten up, gotten out of bed, showered, you're at work, but feel free, if you haven't gotten out of bed or you haven't gotten ready yet, to send a selfie right now of what you look like and send it to the comment board so everyone else can see what you look like in the morning before you got ready. Yeah. So those of you that you see me every morning, but let's go right here with this. Post your topic now. Boom. Go ahead and give me a word and I will give you a story. But man, I've got stories. So we left at noon, actually technically 11:30. Leave Dana alone. She's still adjusting to the time change. Yes, she is. We actually woke up at 10:40, and I had everything set up the night before, struggling with this whole hoping 5G works because I'm not used to even 4G being anything in Gnome. You see, I'm still adjusting to Gnome from Gnome Internet, and I'm not used to 4G doing anything more than letting you check a text or an email. So when I had to trust my 5G on the phone to let me stream, and I'm looking at the Facebook feed, and it looks like it's decent. I'm surprised. I'm streaming at 720, and it actually, I mean, this trust issues that I have are crazy, but it looks like it's actually streaming pretty well. But yeah, it's a lot of trust. But we woke up at 10:40. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get this all set up and make sure it works. And hey, here I am. It's 11 o'clock. I actually went out to the lobby, and Dana's like, you're going to go get coffee? I'm like, heck yeah. And I walk out, my hair looking like this. There's a bunch of people out in the lobby. The manager looked by, and, the managers have to be nice. And this guy all dressed up in like a shirt and a tie. And he's like, good morning, sir. Because, this is the Hyatt. They got to be nice. This isn't a place where, it's not the Super 8 where they're used to, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. This isn't, Dana's giving me that, be nice. Okay, this isn't one of those hotels. I'm not supposed to name names because some of you might actually stay at those hotels. This isn't one of those hotels where you can rent by the hour. Okay, so, is that better, Dana? She said that's still not better. I got my, yeah, she's over there giving me like the evil eye. So, I'll just say this is a nicer hotel in theory. This is a nicer hotel in theory. And I walked out, and here's this guy in this nice little suit, and is dressed up, and he's looking at me like, good morning, sir. And he's just looking at it. I know he's like, what is this guy doing here? And I'm coming out in my bed head. Then I get up to the front desk, and they already put the decaf coffee away. And I'm like, ma'am, is there any decaf coffee left? And she went back to the back and got me decaf coffee. And yeah, yikes. And I explained to her, I said, well, actually, I got this wonderful blog, and I got to tell her about, I don't know how to post a picture here. I don't know either. Can you post a picture here? You know what? Just post it on my Facebook page, because everyone who has access to this has access to my Facebook page. Just post it there. Okay? And then anybody, the first person to post, just post it under the comments. There you go. There you go, Amy. Be a trendsetter. Let's hear it for Amy. Yeah, Amy. All right, Amy. All right. So, I got to tell the manager about Bedhead Chats with Chad. But as I say, this is a nicer hotel. It was interesting. Saturday night when we got in here, some of the clientele that was here, and for a while there, we were wondering if we were in the homeless shelter, because it was interesting. It was interesting. I was wondering Sunday morning when we left to get ready for church. I remember that nasty hotel we stayed at Choir of the Fire, the second time, not the first. Yuck. Smelled like cigarettes and had roaches. I'm not mistaken. We checked out. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was in Lansing. Yes, that's what happens when you get a hotel for $29.99. Yes, it was not nice. We don't stay at those places anymore. The hotels can be nasty. That's what. Well, this kind of fits into the homeless theme. I didn't even think about it. This fits right into homeless. It wasn't even intentional. See how that works for Bedhead Chat with Chad? The theme is homeless, and I automatically went. See, Dana? See, it's not so bad after all. Dana's sitting right there, in case you haven't figured that out. But it felt like this is a place for the homeless people. I don't know if it was a homeless person or a woman of the night. Here's my bedhead. Laugh out loud. She's going to send me one right here on the side. Guy, come on, send the picture, Amy. Send it. Because it might show up online here in a minute. Oh, here we go. Time out. Time out. Here we go. Boom. Here's what happens when you send me your bedhead picture. It shows up. There it is. That doesn't look like bedhead. That looks like you spent hours on it. You look half asleep, but other than that. Anyone else want to send their bedhead picture so it shows up on Bedhead Chat with Chad for permanent? Because these all go on my my page, A Man with Two Hats, which is my YouTube page, and these go to permanent. I mean, I don't get rid of these things. These are here forever. Forever. Let me slide over here so we get forever. Amy, laugh out loud. Hey, Dave. Talk. So, throw me out some words. And remember, the theme today is homeless. Looks like I've rambled on for the first 5 or 7 minutes and managed to talk about homelessness without even realizing that I was talking about homeless, because we are homeless for 5 days, even though we won't stay homeless for long. Acquire the fire. Okay, so even though you didn't throw that as a word, you threw that word out, Taylor. So Acquire the Fire is a youth event. And let me tell you what, when we went to youth events, and like Dave can attest to this. Dave is was Dave Nesberg, managed the Portage Lake Bible Camp, and our youth group, and I'm sure he will say yes, Chad is 100% correct, is not a typical youth group. It never has been. Oh, there's another bedhead. I'm gonna line these up and take pictures of them all in a minute. Not a typical youth group. Our kids are not your typical church kids. We just round up kids that you don't have to show up for church with your mom and dad to be part of our group. We just found kids that wanted to be part of something bigger than themselves, that wanted to be part of a family, and we brought them all in together. We always said it's not the kids that would normally sit together at a lunch table in high school. So a great group of kids. But when we went places, we always kind of caused a little bit of trouble. Well, the very first time we went to Acquire the Fire, it was just a handful of us. And we took a couple of our kids and we mixed in because there was a group that had extra tickets and they needed chaperones. So we went with a group to Lafayette, Indiana, and we took Dan and I and a couple of our kids and mixed with them. And now this is a typical youth group. Well, our room, we ended up by the end of the night, we had some Skittles. We played Skittles poker, no big deal. By the time the night was over, we had all the mattresses in the middle. We were sleeping. We had stuff. It was crazy. There was Skittle wars. By the time we were done, we had nothing left to throw, so we were taking shampoo and just in the middle of the night in the dark, throwing it at each other. I mean, just crazy. By the time it was done, the whole room, we had to put the whole room back together. We broke one light by accident. That was in the bathroom of all places. I don't know how you break a light in the bathroom. But Acquire the Fire became this place where we loved going to Acquire the Fire because it was great. I mean, the kids, I'll do drugs when I become one of your youth kids. I did drugs, yeah. And yes, you did drugs yep, and we loved you still the same. Yes, you were interesting, Taylor. That's the word we use for Taylor. Interesting. Interesting. But we love Taylor. We still love Taylor. We can't wait to see Taylor once this COVID thing ends and we can actually go, and be within 6 feet of somebody. Because we'll see Taylor ASAP. ASAP. But, yeah, we would go to Acquire the Fire, and our kids, what we would do is we call them drive-by knocks. We would take big bags of Skittles in the middle of the night, because we'd usually have, the one time that she's talking about, we had like 50 kids, or 50 people total with adults, and our group would knock on the door. We had this giant bag of Skittles, and we'd all have, my whole room would have a hands full of Skittles, and as soon as somebody would open the door, we would just toss them in. We'd just beam Skittles into the room, like just, grenade launch full of Skittles, and just fill the room full of Skittles. You hear in the room and just nail everybody with Skittles. So yeah, we caused a little trouble at camp, Portage Lake Bible Camp. We were the group that always started trouble there too. The first time we were there, we didn't know anybody, but we started to see where the rivalries were. So we started rivalries between the rivalries without them even doing anything. So we started a war between oh man, I just heard that somebody got killed in Dowagiac. Okay, so we started a rivalry between two youth groups just to make them have more fun. So then they started doing it themselves. So they already had this rivalry, which is more sport based. But we started trashing their rooms, and so they think it was each other. We were brand new. No one even knew who we were. And So like we went in and then we'd leave clues to make it think it was the other group. So we went this whole weekend back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, trashing or doing something to the rooms back and forth to the point where they started doing it to each other. So yeah, that's the kind of group we were. Yeah, we were an interesting group. Heidi Benkert. Hey, hello, Heidi. Hello, Susan. Hello, Sherry. Okay, I need a word. Um, so far, Taylor put the word drugs in. I'm not going to use it. Sherry Finch, Kelsey, Dave. All right. Give me a word. Today's theme is homeless. So I have to somehow turn your word into a story that has to do with the homeless. And that doesn't necessarily mean homeless people, just something to do that stretches the word homeless into some kind of story. So somebody give me a word. We got a few minutes left in today's bedhead. Sherry, give me a word. Somebody give me a word. Otherwise, I just keep talking and tell random stories. So yesterday we were driving, and I don't know how it came up. I think I do know how it came up. So here's the thing: is if you've never heard of the app Makeup, okay, all right, I got you. I don't know if it's Heather, Esau, or both of you, but I've got you with makeup and homeless. So when I grew up, I was part. You think you stumped me with makeup because I'm a guy, but you didn't. I got you immediately. We were part of a clown group. And I'm telling you, this clown group, it was by the Knaps. Unfortunately, both of them have passed away since, but we're friends with the kids that are our age. But Mr. and Mrs. Knapp is what I refer to them. Don and Jean Knapp, but they still will always be Mr. and Mrs. Knapp to me because I just grew up that way. But they had a 4-H clown group, and to the point where they had special bikes. I mean, like I had a bike that had a double hinge in the middle where I would drive like this in the parade, and then my front tire would go sideways. So I'd be riding in I'd be here, and I just got to get up and explain it a little better. So I'd be here, I'd be riding like this, and all of a sudden I would just slide over here, and then my steering wheel or my handlebars and my tire would be here, and I'd be here. So I'd be like, it'd be next to me. Okay, so yeah, I'd be like this. But so we won award after award after award. I did that. I had met so many friends, and that I got people out of the blue. Like you ready here? Here's 3 steps away from anybody. The guy that I talk about, John Troutman. Oh, I said his last name. Oops. Well, he was on the other day. It doesn't matter. He was on a couple weeks ago live. So John, the guy that I tell all the stories about, his sister was a little kid. She's about 7-8 years younger than me. She was a friend of somebody who was in the clown troupe, and she was a clown a couple times, and she sent me a picture and said, "Is this you?" So she was actually part of the clown troupe many times. But here's where the makeup and homeless comes in. Okay, all three, all right. Okay. I just saw that, Heather and Esau. So small world, but my friend Dave was always, and I was a full-faced clown, but he was always ready for this? A hobo. He was a hobo clown. So he was always a hobo, which is homeless. Always had the stick like he was carrying ready to hop onto a train. But we had so much fun in our clown group. I mean, to this day, I used to make money. I would go, they would hire me to go to like grand openings of stores or parties or things. And I would be a clown and I would do magic tricks because I'm really good at card tricks. I mean, I can do tricks. I can put them in front of you. And I mean, I'm just really good at sleight of hand tricks. I had a whole magic routine. I mean, I still have my magic box where I can do a whole like 30-minute thing and do creation through. I mean, I can do a whole VBS type of story of Jesus doing really cool magic tricks. Not the kind that do it themselves. I mean, I can like make 5 golf balls appear and then disappear out of nothing. I mean, I can do real sleight of hand magic. But yeah, makeup. See where that came from? Makeup. Yeah, you thought you had me there. Nice try. You can't get me. Anyone else got a word? Trying to stump me with a word like makeup didn't work. Didn't work. Recovery, Amy, that's too easy. Homeless and recovery? I mean, okay, so uh, if you haven't, most of you that follow me know that I just did not too long ago during around Easter, I did a testimony for Celebrate Recovery for what we call Black Saturday, which is the Saturday between Good Friday and Easter, which is when Jesus was in the grave and everyone thought he was dead and everybody was mourning and all that. And I did a testimony then for Celebrate Recovery because Celebrate Recovery is something I've been part of. We just actually just last week or 2 weeks ago celebrated the 6-year birthday of Dowagiac, Michigan Celebrate Recovery. And homeless is part of a lot of people's unfortunate recovery because they end up in jail and then they end up not having a place to live coming out. And we've done a lot of, and they still exist. And unfortunately, I can't be part of it anymore because I'm not the pastor and I'm not in that area. But they still are there, where they go into, you could kind of call them halfway houses, waiting to find a place to live. But one of the things that happens is, and it's unfortunate, this is not a funny story, this is a reality story, is they come out, they get addicted. They lose their family or friends, unless the whole family's involved in drugs, but a lot of times they're not. Well, case by case. So let's say their family's not. Their family writes them off, which a lot of times they should. Cold turkey, just push them away, and then they come out, they become clean, and then their family still sees the old them, doesn't see the new them, has no faith, no trust in them. And they end up in a halfway house type of setting is what we would call it. And then they're basically homeless. Nobody wants to take them in. No one trusts them for a job. I mean, there's some places that are really, really good about taking people that are recovering addicts into their jobs, but it's really difficult. And they find themselves in these situations, which you could say were homeless situations, because it's hard to get a house, hard to get an apartment, it's hard to get a job. And these are really good people that had a really stupid mistake or something happened when they're young that are coming out and coming into recovery and are clean a lot of times for over a year and just are stuck in this, we'll say, kind of homeless scenario because the world won't trust them for who they are, for who they've become. So I say that to say this, don't judge them by who they were, judge them by who they are. I mean, they're still struggling, just like you and I are. The difference is their vice is not your vice, and you're judging their vice as something worse than your vice. Okay, so recovery is a whole different beast. I mean, there's people on this right now that are part of this that you've been interacting with day after day through when you do bedhead chats with Chad that are recovering addicts, that are recovered addicts, that are struggling day to day, but living life to the fullest. And you would never know that you're interacting with them on a daily basis because they're living a normal, regular life. So give them a shot. Amy's saying amen. Okay? Give them a shot because there's no reason to judge them for their past and judge them for who they are now. Any more than we should judge you for the mistakes that you made. Or if you judge me, oh my gosh. Here, I'll give you an example. If you judge me for the stuff that I've done in my past, you all know I'm a pastor. So when I just thought of this the other day, I don't know what, Dan and I were talking, and it just popped up a memory. When I was in high school, I went to a private school, First Assembly Christian School. And I was the rebel there. Now, a rebel there doesn't mean much. A rebel there means you say the word darn or crap or shoot. I mean, I got suspended for saying all of those things. Really, suspended from school. I said crap, got suspended for 2 days. And I said it on the bus, on the way home. Actually, I think it was at the bus stop after I got off the bus. I learned in my junior and senior year that if you just say the real words, they stop suspending you and they start praying for you. So, do the math. Dana's over there laughing because she knows it's true. Yeah, so I just started saying the bad words. Yeah. Devil inside, devil inside. And that's an In Excess song. If you're too old for that, look up In Excess, Devil Inside. All right, that was back from my era. But, so, in my senior year, we decided, we're just gonna be all out rebels. And my friend Brett, who someday I will have on here. I mean, he's just a fun guy. He's the one that I told the story of he was skinny dipping, and I made him go through. My friend's saying we need to make reservations at Evil Check today. Already made them. 1 p.m. lunch. Text Ryan and tell him I've already got him for 1 p.m. If he wants us to add him, he's got to let me know. Sorry, guys. There's things that are more important sometimes, and that's Evil Check lunch. Oh, it's so good stuff. I have been waiting for a year to eat at Evil Check. But I digress. Every single bedhead. I might as well just make that part of the title. Bedhead Chats with Chad, and he digresses. All right. So there was this time I was in Pep Band, and we had the thing called the Battle of the Drummers, because I was the drummer, and we had this other guy named Sean come in. Sean, and he was a good drummer too. And well, we couldn't have two drummers, so instead we had two drummers. So we had two guys with giant drum sets. Well, mine was bigger. Yep, mine was bigger. And so we had two giant drum sets. Of course, mine was bigger, up in the balcony of the gym during Pep Band. And we would play together during Pep Band. And Brett and I, Brett was also in the Pep Band, went down during the halftime, and we had a pint of peach schnapps in my car. And during halftime, we downed, the two of us, this pint of peach schnapps. Now, imagine teenagers who don't drink really to speak of. I mean, we were just being rebels, downing a pint of peach schnapps, and then going up and trying to play in rhythm with another person playing a drum set. You can imagine. So here we are doing Pep Band at the second half of a basketball game, and trying to keep a rhythm. It was not pretty. Let's just say Sean did not do a good job of keeping up with me. Sean was really, really, really off. The cool part was my teacher was clearly had to have known. And we could have been expelled for that. I mean, just drinking in general would have gotten expelled. It was a private school. It was a Christian school. But we lucked out because he did not turn us in. We had this whole plan, because they used to sell these chocolates that had liquor flavors on the inside. So we were just going to say that we ate these chocolates with peach schnapps flavor on the inside, and that's why you could smell it on your breath. And that was our backup plan for this. But yeah, so see, we've done stupid stuff. So you could judge me by the guy who got drunk at Pep Band in his senior year. Okay? You could say, oh, Pastor Chad, that's the guy that got drunk during Pep Band. Or I'm just Pastor Chad. Of course, you're not going to judge me for the guy that got drunk at Pep Band. Well, some of you may. Oh, Tammy, it's not that funny. Well, yeah, it kind of is. I wish I had video, man. I wish I had video. But I'll put a picture of me, how young I looked playing, because I've somebody put a picture of me playing the drums up in the balcony. But yeah, you can judge me for that, or you can see me for who I really am. I'm a guy who gets up and talks on Facebook with messy hair. But hey, listen, we got about a minute left. This one time at Pep Band, this one time at Pep Band. Well, there's a lot of one times at Pep Band, unfortunately. They weren't to do with alcohol, but there's always something. I could do a whole bedhead chat with Chad of things I did at school that I got in trouble for. I mean, I got suspended for the dumbest things. Raise your hand if you've ever been suspended for rubber bands. Me. Yep, me. What about slappy hands? Me. What about for demon possessed tricks? Oh, me. What about for doing magic? Me. Oh, balding. Oh, sorry, Heather and Esau. We are running out of time. I do not have time to talk about you guys balding. But, hey, it's been great. It is 7:29 in Alaska, but it is 11:29 here in sunny. I don't know if it's even sunny. because I haven't really been up long enough to know. But it is 11:29. See, I don't have windows. I can't look and see the Bering Sea. It's already depressing. Normally, I look out here and I see the Bering Sea and I get to see the sunshine. And hey, look, it's a parking lot, Dana. Actually, we're on the first floor of the hotel. And what we saw this morning when I woke up, no, I did not spend hardly any time in school. Actually, we played hooky a lot. But we woke up this morning and we're on the first floor and we just had we didn't have the really dark shades pulled. And I'm not kidding you. I was looking face to face with somebody that was walking past, two women that were walking past our window. I was like, oh, Dana, look, there's people. Yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Bedhead Chats with Chad is back to the point where bedheadchatswithchad.com. Actually, it's just bedheadchats.com. It's not up and running yet, but I own it. Sorry, Dana, I bought bedheadchats.com. I own it. I gotta own it. But hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, and don't forget. Well, some of you got to go back to work now. Some of you are going back to work. I know that. And Indiana's opened up. I'm actually going out for lunch. So, no showers, no shaving, no clean clothes, unless you need to do all those things. But hey, I will see you tomorrow. I'm out.